Hi everybody, this is Dr. Lewis at Wellness in Lisbon, and today we're going to go over what I call a mobility flow. And a mobility flow is basically just a series of movements targeted to one specific region of the body, for example the lower back and pelvis, which is what we'll do today. I use these flows as ways to break up the workday, so if I'm spending a lot of time in a seated position and I don't want to get too stiff and sore, I will take 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to do some of these exercises, and it's not that intense, it's not that complicated, it doesn't require a lot of space or material. We're just going to go through some different ranges of motion with our spine, and you can follow me along here, but if you find that you're feeling good with this stuff, maybe you should do a little more time, a few more repetitions or a few more circuits of these movements. So we're just going to keep it short and sweet, but we're going to go through low back and pelvis mobility flow today. In the next few months we'll do some other ones, so we'll go through the upper body, thoracic spine, neck, shoulders, hips, ankles, knees, whatever. So anyway, we're going to get into it, okay? So I'll try to describe what I'm doing as I'm going. First off, I'm just getting onto the floor, and I might just go into a child's pose, stretch backwards, and then come forwards. So as I'm doing this, I'm just trying to pay attention to what I'm feeling in my body. And I'm feeling a little bit of pain in the lower part of my spine as I go into extension. Probably just because I haven't been in that position very often through the day today. But already diminishing. So I'm just doing a few of these repetitions, maybe 5 to 10. Unless I'm feeling particularly restricted in this position, and I might spend a bit more time here. Push into the range, push into the pain a little bit. I might play around with my knees as I'm doing this, opening my knees up a little bit. We'll just change a little bit where you're feeling the stretch. Going backwards, okay. From here, I'm naturally just going into a cat-cow, so I'm just kind of rounding the spine up towards the ceiling and extending down. As I'm doing this, pay attention, I want to make sure my lower back is rounding upwards. Okay, so I'm pushing the lower back towards the ceiling, and I'm tilting the pelvis inward. At the same time, I'm bringing my head down. And then going back in the other direction. We should be breathing during these movements as well. So just kind of calm the nervous system down. Okay, from here I'm just going to do some shifts side to side with my hips. Again, I'm just breathing as I'm doing this. So maybe 5, 10, 15 repetitions. From here, I'm going to do some hip rotations, so I'm just bringing my hips around or being circles with my knee. I'm being careful here not to compensate too much with the lower back, so sometimes you can put a little ball on the lower part of your back just to make sure you're not kind of twisting too much there. What might happen is we're kind of doing this, the ball will fall off. But if I can keep that ball on my lower back and try to focus the movement on my hips, I can just get a bit more of focused movement on the hips. Opening until I feel some restriction coming back down. So again, maybe 12 to 15 repetitions on each side. From here, I'm turning over. I'm just getting down onto the floor. And I'm gonna let my hips shift side to side. And my knees fall side to side. As I'm doing this, I might look to the other direction. And I'm feeling a bit of resistance here, a little bit of a stretch on the side, so I'm just spending a bit more time there. I might even lift my knees up just to kind of add a little bit more core engagement to this. And again, I'm breathing. Okay, from here I might just hug the ankles or hug the knees into my body. I'm gonna bring one knee over the other, or one ankle over the other knee, lift upwards, and as I lift upwards, I'm pushing this knee downward. I can feel that create a nice stretch to the front of the hip on the opposite side. And same thing on this side. Again, I'm only doing a few repetitions here, but you could do 5, 10, 15. The more, the better. Up to a certain point, of course. Okay. And I might just sit up, do some shifting side to side with my hips. Okay. Going back to this kneeling position, I might do some rotations just with the upper part of my body. And there I just might restart and go back into a few more repetitions. So it's a good way to get the lower body and the pelvis moving through the day. One place that you can go after this is just to stand up kind of shake things out, maybe do some spinal waves. So spinal wave is basically just kind of a folding down of the spine and then lifting and extending as we come back up. And then I might just do some tilts with my pelvis, forward, backward. Imagine as if I have a kind of a, my pelvis is a bit of a bowl of water, and if I tilt the pelvis forward, the water comes out, then I bring it back in. So this kind of tilting of the pelvis is just nice to just add a little bit of movement here to the lower part of the body, lower part of the back, and where it meets the pelvis. Jump around and get back to your day, all right? So over the next few weeks, we'll try to do more of these. Try to introduce them to your day and see if you notice a difference at the end, okay? All the best.